Hi everyone. So I'm going to show you how to set up the Yaesu FT991A with a power supply. So this is the radio, this is the power supply. And one of the things that you need to consider is what you got so that you can plug it in. So Yaesu gives you a cable for power, and one end is going to be a bare wire. And what I did was I put these Anderson power poles. You're going to need a tool and some other accessories. You need the plastic sheeting that it has. It has a certain orientation. And I used the 45 amp connectors for it. I'll have some videos for you in terms of how to make these if you want to do that. You don't. But I did, and I'll explain a little bit why I did. And I also got a boot. I'll put those in the description. So on this end where you see the bare wire, I put an Anderson power pole, because this way, if I have another Anderson power pole, I can make sure the polarity is correct and it slides in and out very easily. And as you know, these radios can be powered by batteries, regular 12-volt batteries. And I might not be using this all the time, but it doesn't mean that if this is, this is bare wire, it doesn't mean that you just can't plug it in. You can. That's not a problem. But there might be some issues doing that. It has a fuse box here, 25 amps. I believe Yaesu gives you one fuse in here, so that's 25. And then on the other side is the connection. It does have a certain orientation, and as you can see, it has a top lip right there. That's going to be important because that's the way to take it out. So when you pop it in here, it snaps, and it's really nice and tight in there. To take it out, you just press the top firmly, and eventually it comes out. So that's good. Okay, so that's cool. We'll leave that there for now. As for the power supply, I have one of these nice heavy-duty surge protection device. Each of these has its own filters. They're not inexpensive, but they do get on sale. Very heavy-duty, very nicely constructed. So this one is going to go on one outlet, and then the radio, this DC, is going to go in here, and not much else. No printers, no computer, nothing so that it will interfere with the radio. Okay, so this is a Samlexpower supply, the SEC-1235M, 12 volts, 35 amps max, M for the meters. Really neat. They don't light up, unfortunately. So they give you some connectors, which I really didn't like. So what I did was I took a piece of wire. This wire is a 10 gauge, so it's rated for 30 amps. I took these connections from the Anderson power poles. These are the same connections that you use for this, which I didn't show you, but I'll have a video description on it. These are the 45 amp versions, because this wire, 10 gauge, is really thick. I picked 10 gauge just for safety reasons. Can you use something else? Probably. You can always do the calculations. Okay, so these connections I used, and I use this tool to crimp it. You do need a tool to crimp, probably, or you can try by hand, but I'm not sure if that's going to work. On the other end, I have an Anderson power pole, which is perfectly, that aligns with the cable for the radio, and it slides in very nicely. Okay, So here we have these connectors, and then make sure the orientation of the color is correct. And it's a flat side, and you screw that in there, making sure it's nice and tight and there's no wires showing. And then you put this on the other side and you tighten that up. Okay, nice and tight. I don't see any wires coming out. And you can also put some tape in there, probably. Okay, and then you hook this one up. Anderson power poles. I use the Anderson power poles because, again, I can always take this apart. This is a mobile radio. I can take it outside, use a battery if I wanted to, right? So these are connected, and I'm not going to turn it on. You plug it in, of course, in the power here on this side. And then you want to put on your microphone, of course. You're going to need your Coax cable. Now this one is a RG8 cable. The antenna goes outside. Very nice, heavy duty. It's not inexpensive, but it is UV resistant. That says right there, UV resistant. And it's really nice and heavy. It's not very easily bendable, so make sure you don't bend it too much. You can twist. You can do loops, especially where the antenna is. So this one is a 2 meter, 70 centimeter antenna cable. You have the HF radio antenna here, and then here you have the 2 meter. So I'm going to put that. You got to make sure it's nice and tight. Okay, and then one very important thing that you need to do is ground the radio. Some of you are going to say you don't have to, and some of you will say you do. And it would be awesome if you would comment on if you do ground the radio or not. So grounding is very important for 2 reasons. One, electrical grounding. So if you have an antenna and it picks up charge and it goes into the radio, when you touch this, or when you touch this even, you may get shocked or hurt. But if it's grounded properly, that will be discharged somewhere else. Also, grounding is good for RF, right? Sometimes when you have certain types of antennas, they need to be grounded. And a lot of the times that grounding helps in terms of performance and also in safety. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them. You like this video, please thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you.